The moment my sister hurled my handmade gift box across the lawn and called me a pathetic cheapskate in front of 50 guests at our father's 60th birthday, she had no idea she'd just thrown away $20 million. I'm Harper Chen, 30 years old, and I'd flown back from Singapore expecting a warm family reunion. Instead, I watched my sister Meredith hold my carefully folded paper box up like trash, her designer dress sparkling under the string lights as she mocked me for everyone to see. "What's this, Harper? Another bargain bin special?" she sneered, tossing it carelessly into the grass while her boyfriend Derek laughed. The crowd froze. Some chuckled nervously, others looked away. My cheeks burned, but I stood silent as whispers spread through the party like wildfire. 15 minutes later, when my lawyer opened that crumpled box and announced the trust fund inside, Meredith's smug grin melted faster than ice in July. But let me back up, you need to understand exactly how we got here. 4 years ago, I left Dallas for Singapore with nothing but a computer science degree and stubborn determination. Meredith thought I was insane. "You'll be back in 6 months, she'd said, examining her manicured nails while sitting in our parents' living room. "Singapore? Really? You can barely handle spicy food." She wasn't entirely wrong. Those first months nearly broke me. I couldn't speak Mandarin, fumbled through meetings, ate instant noodles for weeks straight. My first apartment was a shoebox with a view of a brick wall. I cried myself to sleep more nights than I'd admit, wondering if Meredith was right. But something inside me refused to quit. I kept coding through the night, kept pitching ideas nobody asked for, kept grinding when everyone back home thought I'd lost my mind. By year 2, I'd joined a fintech startup as employee number 7. The founders were brilliant but chaotic. I became the glue that held our code together. By year 3, we went public. My stock options, which I'd nearly sold for rent money once, exploded into tens of millions overnight. I told no one, not a soul. While Meredith posted photos of her BMW and designer bags, flooding Instagram with her blessed life, I lived in a studio apartment, wore thrift store clothes, and quietly built an empire. Why the secrecy? Because I'd seen what money did to relationships. I wanted to know who loved me for me, not my bank account. Coming home for Dad's birthday, I had one goal: surprise my family with financial freedom. I'd spent hours creating that paper box, folding each crease with precision, tucking the trust documents inside. Nothing flashy, just pure intention. I imagined their faces when they realized they'd never have to worry about money again. The moment I arrived, reality slapped me hard. Meredith picked me up in her gleaming BMW, eyeing my rental sedan with open disdain. "Still can't afford a real car?" she asked, her voice dripping with pity. "Harper, you really need to think about your future. You're 30 now." Over coffee the next day, she wouldn't stop bragging about her new condo with Derek, their marble countertops, their rooftop pool, the view of downtown Dallas. "You should visit," she said, implying I couldn't afford the neighborhood. "Well, maybe for dinner. The building has strict guest policies." She dropped names of restaurants I'd supposedly never heard of, designers I couldn't afford, social clubs I'd never get into. Every word was calculated to remind me of my place, beneath her. At dinner the night before the party, she showed up in silk while I wore jeans and a simple sweater. "Still doing that computer stuff?" she asked, as if I were selling keyboards at Best Buy. "Must be tough. Not everyone can keep up with Dallas society." She turned to Derek, stage whispering, "Harper's always been the practical one. Someone has to be, right?" Mom tried changing the subject, asking about my life in Singapore, but Meredith cut her off, flashing a new Cartier watch Derek bought her. "Early birthday gift," she cooed. "Derek says I deserve the best." I watched my parents' faces, the forced smiles, the subtle glance at their own simple watches. They'd refinanced the house twice to help put us through college, while I'd paid them back quietly through anonymous deposits they thought were banking errors. Meredith had never offered a cent. That night in my childhood bedroom, I stared at the ceiling, remembering all the times Meredith had diminished me. The high school graduation where she announced my scholarship was for poor kids. The college years when she'd introduce me as her nerdy sister who lives in the library. The family reunions where she'd publicly offer to lend me money for decent clothes. She assumed I was jealous, struggling, probably bitter. I let her believe it. The party arrived faster than expected. Dad's backyard glowed with lanterns, filled with neighbors and family, the smell of barbecue mixing with Mom's famous potato salad. I watched Dad work the grill, his apron stained with decades of family gatherings, and felt a wave of love for this simple, good man who'd worked construction for 30 years to give us everything. I placed my small box on the gift table between the wrapped packages and wine bottles, knowing what it contained could change everything. Meredith spotted it immediately, stalking over with Derek in tow, her heels sinking into the grass. Her friend Brianna already had her phone out, recording everything for her lifestyle blog that was really just gossip disguised as fashion tips. "Is this seriously your gift?" Meredith announced loudly, ensuring maximum audience. She held my box up for Brianna's camera, turning it like she was presenting evidence of a crime. "What is this? A coupon book? Did you make this in arts and crafts? Oh my God, Harper, we're adults now." The crowd laughed, nervous, uncomfortable laughter, but laughter nonetheless. Brianna zoomed in, already posting to her stories with crying laughing emojis. "This is gold," she giggled. "Harper's out here with the dollar store special. No shade, but like, come on." Then came the throw. The box arced through the air, wobbling like a wounded bird before landing in the damp grass near the garden gnome's mom collected. "Cheapskate move, Harper," Meredith called out, her voice carrying across the yard. "Couldn't even spring for wrapping paper? They literally give it away at the mall." Dad stepped forward, his jaw tight. "Meredith, that's enough." "What? I'm just saying what everyone's thinking." She shrugged, playing to her audience. "Some of us contribute meaningfully to family events, others, well," she gestured at the box in the grass. Derek nodded smugly, his arm around her waist. "Hey, not everyone can be successful. Harper's doing her best, right babe?" "Her best," Meredith repeated, laughing. "That's one way to put it." I stood frozen, humiliation burning through me while Brianna's livestream captured every second. The comments were already rolling in, each one another twist of the knife. My hands trembled, but I kept them steady, refusing to let her see me break. That's when Patricia stepped forward. Patricia Nakamura was my lawyer from Singapore, flown in specifically for this moment. She moved through the crowd with the confidence of someone who'd negotiated billion-dollar deals, her presence immediately commanding attention. She crossed the lawn calmly, picked up the box, and brushed off the dirt with deliberate care. "Mind if I look?" she asked me, though we'd rehearsed this moment. I nodded, unable to speak, my throat tight with emotion. Patricia unfolded the documents inside, scanning them briefly, though she knew every word by heart. The crowd leaned in, sensing a shift in the air. "This is a trust agreement," she announced, her voice cutting through the chatter like a blade. "Harper Chen has established a $20 million trust to eliminate her parents' debts, pay off their mortgage, fund their retirement, and secure her family's future for generations." The silence was deafening. You could hear the Texas wind rustling through the oak trees. "The beneficiaries," Patricia continued, letting each word land with precision, "are Robert Chen, Linda Chen, and Meredith Chen." She paused, looking directly at my sister, whose face was now the color of old paper. "However, Harper retains the right to amend the trust at any time. Given tonight's behavior, she may reconsider the distribution." Mom's hand flew to her mouth, tears already forming. Dad nearly dropped his beer, his hands shaking. "20 million?" he whispered, like saying it louder might make it disappear. Meredith stood frozen, her mouth opening and closing like a fish gasping for air. $20 million? The crowd erupted, whispers became accusations. She called her own sister cheap? For a $20 million gift? Are you kidding me? That's the most money I've ever heard of. She threw it in the grass. Brianna's livestream exploded, comments flooded in faster than anyone could read. "Plot twist of the century. The sister is loaded. Karma is real." I'm screaming, "This can't be real." Better than Netflix. The viewer count climbed, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands watching in real time. Derek stepped backward, suddenly fascinated by his phone, trying to become invisible. His designer sneakers squeaked against the grass as he put distance between himself and Meredith. "Harper, wait," Meredith stammered, using my childhood nickname for the first time in years. "Harp, I was joking, you know I didn't mean it, we always tease each other." I looked at her, really looked at her, the designer dress, the expensive highlights, the spray tan, the veneered teeth, all of it a mask for someone so insecure she needed to tear others down to feel tall. "Joking?" I said, my voice steadier than I felt. "You've been tearing me down since I arrived, since we were kids. Actually, every achievement I had, you diminished. Every success, you mocked. That wasn't humor, Meredith, that was cruelty." "Please," she begged, tears forming, though I wondered if they were real or performed. "Don't cut me out. We're family. I'm your sister. Blood is thicker than water." "Family doesn't humiliate each other for entertainment," I said quietly. "Family doesn't throw gifts in the dirt. Family doesn't make someone feel worthless for laughs. You made your choice." Derek tried to swoop in, flashing his salesman smile, the one he probably practiced in the mirror. Harper, let's discuss this rationally. We're all adults here. Maybe we could invest together. I have some excellent opportunities in commercial real estate. We could triple that money. You stood there laughing. I cut him off. You called me pathetic. Not interested in your schemes. Mom and Dad pushed through the crowd, their faces a mix of shock and confusion. Harper, is this real? Mom asked, her voice shaking. 20 million? How? When? The trust is for you and Dad, I said, taking her hands. Your mortgage, debts, medical bills, retirement, all covered. You'll never have to worry again. That vacation to Italy you always dreamed of? Book it. Dad's fishing boat? Buy it. Dad's eyes misted, tears rolling down his weathered cheeks. Kid, we had no idea. How did you? Hard work and lucky timing, I said simply, but Meredith's out. Actions have consequences. The party transformed into a tribunal. Neighbors who'd laughed now glared at Meredith with open disgust. Her reputation was cremating in real time. The video already trending locally. Screenshots appeared on Dallas gossip forums within minutes. Local woman loses $20 million trust fund over bullying sister. Meredith's text started before I even reached my rental car. Please answer. I'm sorry. Can we talk? Harper, please. This is destroying me. Everyone's attacking me online. Please don't do this. I blocked her number before reaching my apartment. Each message deletion feeling like shedding dead weight. Patricia called the next morning. The trust is finalized. Your parents' debts will be cleared within the week. The house will be fully paid off by Friday. And Meredith? Removed as requested. Legally binding. Irreversible unless you specifically amend it. My phone buzzed. A text from Brianna. Harper, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. Please forgive me. The video was wrong. I'll delete everything. Too late. The internet never forgets. I deleted her message without responding. Apologies that come only after consequences aren't apologies at all, they're damage control. The fallout was swift and merciless. Meredith's carefully curated Instagram, once filled with aspirational lifestyle posts, became a battlefield. Every photo flooded with comments. Money can't buy class. Imagine fumbling 20 million. Sister of the year. This is what greed looks like. Karma served ice cold. Her follower count plummeted by the hour. Within 2 weeks, I heard Derek had left her. Without the promised trust fund, she wasn't worth the investment. The luxury condo they'd shared, she couldn't afford it alone. The BMW, leased under his name, the designer lifestyle she'd flaunted, credit card smoke and mirrors, now crumbling without his financial support. Meanwhile, Mom called me crying with joy. The house is paid off, she sobbed. Your father quit his job. He's finally resting. We booked that fishing trip to Alaska he's dreamed about for 20 years. Harper, you've given us our lives back. But the best part wasn't the money or even the vindication. It was the Sunday calls with my parents, hearing them plan trips, talk about hobbies instead of bills, dream again. That's what 20 million meant to me, not revenge, but freedom for the people who raised me. 3 months later, Meredith tried reaching out through Mom. She's struggling, Mom said gently during one of our calls. Lost the condo, living in a studio apartment, working retail. She made her bed, I replied, though part of me felt a pang of sadness. I hope she learns from it. Maybe someday you two can reconcile, Mom suggested hopefully. Maybe, I said, when she learns that wealth isn't about what you can show off, but what you can share, when she understands that respect is worth more than any designer bag. 6 months later, the video had become a cautionary tale, reshared with titles like Girl Mocks Sister's Gift, Loses $20 million and the most expensive temper tantrum ever. It had millions of views, became a TikTok sensation, spawned memes and reaction videos. Meredith had moved back in with our parents, working at a department store, her social media presence completely ghosted. I sometimes wonder if she's learned that real wealth isn't about labels or logos, it's about lifting others up, not tearing them down, but that's her journey now, not mine. As I sit in my simple apartment, laptop glowing with code for my next project, I feel nothing but peace. I came home wanting to share my success with family. In the end, I learned that family isn't just blood, it's the people who see your worth beyond your wallet. The 20 million trust wasn't about proving anything, it was about love, expressed quietly in a handmade paper box. Meredith saw trash where she should have seen treasure. That's not my fault, it's her loss. And what a spectacular, viral, $20 million loss it was.